And just trying to adjust in your pelvis a little and correct your posture. So you might sit back into the sit bones a little. And then you might try and stack your shoulders over the hips as well. And then if you can, just try to keep that alignment in the spine. Think about lifting the chest slightly. Try not to get an arch into the mid-back or lower back. Think about reaching up through the crown of the head. And then just finding that deeper breath. Nice big inhale, feel the chest expand, open up. That nice long exhale, just allowing the chest to soften down, shoulders to soften and fall. And if you can, breathing in and out through the nose. Just building the breath a little each time, finding a nice rhythm to the breath. I'll try and use this breath throughout our practice today, just to allow us to find space and length in the body. And then we'll use the exhale to go a little further and move into that space we've created, softening in the body where we need to. Try and get a good overall stretch out today. Right, just opening the eyes when you're ready, shoulders down. And then just taking the hands out to the side. If you can, palms facing up, so you can just feel the chest lift, feel the ribs lift. And then when you're ready, take the hands all the way up. With the inhale, reach up, lift up. Looking up as well, maybe soften the shoulders. Exhale, coming all the way back and out and down. Maybe palms still up, a little challenging for the shoulders. Lovely, keep it going. Nice big inhale, reach up, lift up. Maybe starting to go a little bit straighter with the hands, the arms. Maybe reaching up through those fingers, moving with that breath, so exhaling down. Lovely, keep it going. Inhale, lifting up, so you can come forwards and out, up to you. Just feel whatever movement you need. Trying to get a nice flow with the breath if you can. Lovely, noticing that chest lift as you inhale. Maybe look up to really open and lift the collarbones as well. Good, well, let's do 5 more. Hopefully feeling that heat into the shoulders, the arms. Good, 5, 4. Lovely, keep it going, nice steady breath. 3, 2, last one. Well done, just letting the shoulders sink down once you come back to center. Lovely, then when you're ready, taking your left hand down, right palm up and over, just getting that nice side stretch. Pressing down into your right hip. You might just start to stretch out down the side of the ribs, maybe look up to the sky. Opening the chest here as well, soft into that right shoulder. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale, coming all the way back to center. Lovely, switching over, other side. Again, just reaching up and over. Press your left hip down this time, so you deepen that stretch down the ribs, down into that hip maybe. Open the chest, open the heart, looking up to the sky. And when you're ready, nice big exhale, just coming all the way back to center. Lovely, well done. All right, we're going to switch the legs over, go for cross at the ankles instead with the other side, and then just reaching the hands out in front, just going as far as you can. Might be more challenging if you switch to your awkward cross. And then if you can, just get into those fingertips or hands down, push the hands into the ground or fingertips down, lift the shoulders up, and then try to round into the back. So you're just broadening across the upper back. Maybe round into the spine a little bit more as well. Keep lifting the shoulders. I'm just feeling that nice broadness, that stretch across the upper back. If you want to go a little bit further, try and pull your shoulders away from each other. So it's quite a tricky one to do. There's a little temptation to bend the elbows. That might help to just stretch. Pull those shoulders away from each other. Lovely. Take a breath. Pull the belly to the back of the spine, deepen into that back stretch for the exhale. Lovely. Inhale, look forwards. And then just nice and slowly bringing those hands all the way back in. And you exhale. Lovely. All right, let's try and twist it out as well. So take your right hand back behind you. Left hand's coming onto your right knee. Lift the chest, and as you do, just start to turn towards the right. Then nice and slowly, keep working the breath. Try to go a little bit further each time. You might use your left hand on top of the knee to just give you more leverage. You might have that right hand behind you, trying to twist and open the chest a little bit more. So think about those lower ribs moving around, then trying to work to bring that right shoulder back as well. Lovely, 2 more breaths. Using the exhale to go further. Lovely, well done. Looking forwards. Exhale, release back to center. All right, let's switch over other side. Right hand onto that left knee, left hand behind. Again, inhale, lift up through the crown of the head, maybe looking to the left. Exhale, start to bring that left shoulder further back. So just starting to bring those ribs round. Find more of a twist with the exhale. Nice deep breaths. Get the squeeze in of the left shoulder blade as well, just helping to improve posture. Good, 1 more breath. Lovely, looking forwards. Exhale, release. All right, let's start moving a little bit more. Let's get up into our hands and knees, tabletop position. Lovely. From here, we're just going to try to move out a little. So feet are tucked under or toes tucked under, knees are hip width apart. And then just with the breath, try to find some movement. So you might move forwards, shoulders over the wrists. You might move back. You might even go into little circles and just get into the sides of the wrists as well, get into the shoulders. Try to feel that breath with the movement if you can. And sometimes you can close the eyes with this one so that you really feel what you need in the body rather than kind of looking to see which direction you're going. You want to feel it a little bit more. If you are moving forwards and backwards, you might even bring more movement by arching the back, lifting the chin, lifting the head maybe. And then you might round the back as well. So these are our cat-cows. But again, just feeling what you need, maybe dipping the shoulders down, chest down and forwards as you reach forwards. Maybe that nice rounded back, that nice stretch of the upper back as you round the back. Lovely, let's do a couple more. 5, just moving with that breath. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely, just coming back to center when you're ready. All right, we're going to try to get a little bit of work into the shoulders here. This one's a little bit tricky, but you can do it. We'll try it at the easiest setting and then we'll make it a little bit harder. Turn your fingers out slightly and then with your arms nice and straight, push into the upper back. So you're rounding your upper back. Well done. Now, if you can, let your chest drop down, but keep the arms straight. So it's almost like you're coming between your shoulders. So shoulder blades end up coming between each other. It's not quite a cat-cow because we're not arching and rounding the back, or we've not got the focus there. It's more into the shoulder blades. So just have a little go at that. We're going to try to keep moving. It's really good for trying to increase mobility and some strength into the shoulders as well. So just sinking the shoulder blades together as you drop the chest down, pushing back up, rounding into the upper back so shoulder blades come apart and away from each other. Well done. Maybe feeling that heat building now into that section of the body. Well done. Let's do a few more. Good. 5. Dropping that chest down, shoulder blades together. Reaching up into the back. Good. 4. 3. Just noticing where you've got that breath. No right or wrong with the breath. You might move a little bit more with the exhale though. Good. 2. And 1. Lovely. Just coming back to center when you're ready. All right, then we can try to make it a little bit harder. We're going to walk the knees back, keep the feet lifted. Makes it a lot harder, but you want those hands underneath the shoulders. Then you're going to drop down again. So this one's going to be a little bit harder. So then you're pushing up. So you're going to start to feel more weight bearing now. So shoulders dropping down or chest dropping down. Keep the arms straight the whole time. Lovely. Keep it going. You can then do this from a plank position to make it harder again. So if you want to make it harder again, go into plank. Lovely. Keep going. 5, 4, spread the fingers, grip with the fingers. 3, straight arms the whole time. 2, well done. Last one. And 1. Good work. Well done. All right. Hopefully that down dog's going to feel a little bit better now. So take the hands out in front of you a little bit further. And then try to imagine your shoulders spreading apart and away from each other. Bend the elbows slightly as well. And then from there, you're going to tuck under with your toes. That starts to lift those hips up. Keep the shoulders nice and wide, and then you can start to lift those hips up. Adjusting the feet as much as you need, but just starting with those hands a little further forwards, shoulders away from each other. Think about that little bend in the elbows to help. And if you can, you want the elbows to go back towards the feet. So they're not going out to the side, they're going back. So you're trying to get that upper arms to roll out or spiral out, sometimes people say. Lovely. Spread the shoulders away from each other. Lovely. Now maybe press into the hands, find some length into the back. Maybe drop the heels back and down slightly, get that stretch out into the back of the legs. Well done. Take a breath here. Good work, well done. From here, looking forwards, walking the feet in nice and slowly towards the hands, and then just taking the feet hip width apart. Bend into the knees, hands to the thighs or the shins, and then look forward, stretch out through the front of the body. So lift the chest, stretch the front of the body, arch into the back. Then if you can, you're going to press back into the heels slightly, fire up the glutes, and then squeeze your heels towards each other. So you might get a little bit of an activation with the glutes. Lovely. Look forwards, take a breath. Pull the shoulders to the hips, engage the lats, so these muscles around the ribs. Well done. With your exhale, release the hands and fold to the floor. Shift the weight from the heels into the toes. Maybe spread the toes to help you. Maybe just feel that stretch down the back of the legs. So good hamstring stretch. Now see if you can squeeze your outer hips towards each other. Maybe you come up a little bit higher and really think about trying to straighten the legs. It's a little bit hard because you're not quite fully stretched out through those legs, but have a go. Straighten the legs as much as you can. You can always grab hold of either elbow or keep the hands towards the floor. Engage those thighs as much as you can, but keep that shift into the toes. So use the toes more. Lovely. Nice deep breaths here. And then an extra layer of engagement. You're going to squeeze your outer hips towards each other. So you get that stretch of the lower back. A little bit that pelvic floor kicks in and the inner thighs strengthen as well. Hold that engagement there if you can. Let the head relax, shoulders relax. And hold for 5. 4. So quite a lot of engagement going on. Pressing into the toes. Straight legs, so engage the thighs. Squeeze the outer hips. Lovely. 3. 2. And 1. Lovely. Well done. Nice and slowly. Going to soften into the knees, round the back, tuck the tailbone, and then roll up. Take your time. Have the head down for a little bit longer than 5 there. So take your time coming up. Good work. All right, let's dive into our sun salutations now. So make sure you feel all right standing. Just going to get that nice stretch out with the arms, feet together. And then when you're ready, take a nice big inhale, stretch those arms all the way up to the sky. Open the chest, send the shoulders back and press back into the heels if you can. Feel the glutes kick in, thighs maybe, a little bit of core. Well done. Exhale, fall towards the floor, drop the head. And then little lean into those toes, straighten the legs if you can. Good. Inhale, nice halfway lift, look forwards, shoulders pull to the hips. Good. Exhale, plant the hands, feet back to plank. Nice strong plank. Look forwards and see if you can hold your plank here. Then bend the elbows back and see if you can lower down. Well done. Feet nice and wide. Inhale, lift the chest. Your version of up dog, so you can either hover the hands so you're nice and low, or you can come up a little bit higher, but just checking with that lower back. Well done. Exhale, tuck the toes. So you can push all the way up, straight into down dog. If not, use your knees. All right, we'll do 5 breaths in our down dog. So just do a few check-ins. Tweak the body slightly. So fingers turning out. Spread the fingers wide. Upper arms trying to roll out. Shoulders work away from each other. So you're trying to spread your shoulder blades in down dog. Once you feel like you've got that, press the hands into the ground. Send the shoulders further away. Well done. Feel the hips lift up and back. And then start to send the heels back, calves back. And then engage the thighs, switch them on, send your thighs back. Well done. A little squeeze of the outer hips as well might help you find a little bit more length. Lovely. 3, 4, And 5, lovely. Look forward, step the feet towards the front. And coming into that nice halfway lift, shift the weight into the toes, straighten the legs, engage the thighs, arch into the back, look forwards, and then exhale, folding down. Straight legs, engage those thighs, lean into the toes, relax the shoulders. Good, when you're ready, press into the feet, squeeze the outer hips as you come up, reach up, lift up, open the chest, open the arms, and exhale all the way back to standing. All right, just adding a few more subtle tweaks to our usual sun salutations. Let's go again. When you're ready, nice big inhale, reach up, lift up, stretch all the way up, open the arms, engage the glutes, press back into the heels. Good, exhale, fold towards the floor, drop the head, and straighten the legs, press into those front, into the toes, engage those thighs, squeeze the outer hips for that extra lift. Lovely, inhale, halfway lift, look forwards, shoulders pull to the hips. Nice. Exhale, hands go down, feet back. Lovely. Shift forwards and down, elbows in. Well done. Feet nice and wide. So you can roll the shoulders down the back, squeeze the shoulder blades and get a little hover of the hands maybe, or use your hands to lift up slightly. Exhale, so you can tuck the toes under, keep the knees lifted, and push it all the way up and back for down dog. Maybe take the feet a bit wider, see if that helps. And then adjust into your arms, your shoulders first. Spread the fingers wide, elbows going back rather than out. So inner elbows trying to face forward. It's always a tricky one to do. Upper arms rolling out, shoulders pulling away from each other. Lovely, well done. Take those hips up and back if you can. Lengthen through the back. Well done. That little squeeze of the outer hips. Find a little more lift. And then send the heels back, calves back. Good, spread the toes. Nice deep breaths here. Lovely. 3, 4, and 5. Look forward, step the feet towards the front. Nice halfway lift. Again, straight legs, lean into the toes. Send the shoulders to the hips, chest forwards. Exhale, folding down again, into those toes, strong thighs, squeeze the outer hips. And when you're ready, press into the feet, reach up, lift up, looking up. And exhale, all the way back to standing. Woo, good work. All right, let's get a nice stretch out in our triangle pose. So taking the feet all the way out, right foot towards the back of the mat, heels on that straight line. When you're ready, reach your right hand forwards and come down towards that right shin. Lovely. Think about tucking under with the tailbone if you can. So you want to try and open the hips out on the front. Maybe feel that stretch down the left-hand side by pressing your left heel into the ground more. Lovely. Maybe start to send your left shoulder back, maybe looking up to the sky. Keep the chin away from the shoulder. And then maybe stretch that top hand up. Yeah, good work. Well done. Hold it here. 5 breaths. Good. 1. Keep thinking about opening the chest across the front of the body. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Push into the front knee, coming all the way back up. Pivot round, left foot forwards, arms out wide again, and then again, think about tucking under with the tailbone, coming down towards that left side. Lovely. Think about opening across the chest. Keep the chin away from the shoulder, maybe looking up. Think about that tuck under the tailbone. Maybe stretch that right arm up. But think about drawing your right shoulder back so you get that stretch. Good. Press into the outside edge of that right heel. Well done. Nice deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. Keep that tuck under if you can. 4, and 5. Lovely. Push into the front knee, coming all the way back up. Lovely, well done. All right, let's bring that left foot in as well. Let's get a nice fold here. You can always go wider if you want to, or narrower. And then from there, bending into the knees will go down towards the floor. So sometimes we bend the knees first, so especially if you like hyperextend or anything, it can be very easy to just go down with straight legs. But if you bend the knees first, get into position by shifting the weight into the toes. So shift forwards, then engage the thighs, and you might even be able to feel it with your hands or your fingers. And then think about dropping the head down. So you might even look through the legs and just drop the head down, crown of the head pulling towards the floor. So you've got a little more engagement there. And now squeeze your outer hips towards each other. So you get this external rotation in the thighs. If you feel like your thighs are rolling in, you're probably using your pelvis more to open the hips. So you can turn your toes out slightly to help with this one. Well done. Hold it there. Nice deep breaths. Good. 1. Maybe leaning into the toes as long as it feels right. Hands down to help. 2. Maybe pull the crown of the head down towards the floor. 3. Just leaning into those toes. Squeeze the outer hips again. 4. And 5. Lovely. Inhale, lift, look forwards. Soften into the knees, hands to the waist, and inhale to come all the way back up. Nice, well done. All right, we're going to try to bring your heels in now. So turn your heels in, so you've got your toes turning out, and then you can bend into the knees and sink down. Well done. I think some people call this horse squat, perhaps. All right, I'm not sure what the yoga one is. Goddess pose is yoga one. All right, sinking down nice and low, tuck under with the tailbone. So good one for those inner thighs to switch on. To make this harder, you're going to try to lean back slightly, and you're trying to do this more with your shoulders. It's a little bit of a tough one. Good for building strength in the knees as well. Lovely. Then to feel more, press the feet into the ground so you feel that resistance, and then lower into those hips. Good, well done. Inhale, tuck under with the tailbones. It's going to deepen that. Exhale, go lower. Lovely. Couple more, 3 more. Inhale, tuck under. Exhale, go lower. Woo. Well done. 1 more. Inhale, tuck under. Exhale, go lower. Woo. Well done. When you're ready, press into the feet, coming all the way back up. Nice. Well done. From here, take a nice big step forwards and just shake it out. Lovely. All right, we'll have a little go at our balance. So trying to get a nice hip opener here. Shift the weight into the left foot. You're going to take your right ankle across the top of your left thigh. I had to go with this one last week. So you're going to flex the foot once, and that'll hold it in position. And then to go a little bit further, bend your left leg and start to see if you can fall towards the floor. Maybe get the fingertips down, or if you've got a sofa or a coffee table, you can get the hands onto the sofa or the coffee table instead. So you're not going as low. Then if you can, think about trying to send your right knee further back. Notice if that deepens your stretch. Keep your right foot flexed as well. You can start to straighten the left leg a little as well, see if that helps deepen the stretch. It's quite a nice outer hip stretch. Well done. Eventually we'll work towards half lotus on this right leg. Lovely. Couple more breaths. 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, just soften into that knee, coming all the way up without letting go of the right leg if you can, and release them at the top. Lovely. All right, let's go other side. So shift the weight into your right foot, left ankle across the top of the thigh, and then see if you can get that little bend. Flex the foot, little bend in the knee, maybe going down for the fold. See if you can get that stretch. And again, just explore where you feel it. So you might send your left knee back and down slightly. You might keep that foot flexed to feel that stretch more. Sometimes squatting down into that right leg a little bit more can also give you that deeper stretch. Or you can try straightening the leg, which we start to work towards when we do half lotus. That works where you're at. Lovely, nice steady breath. Good. 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Push into the front foot, coming up nice and slowly. Woo! And exhale, release. Shake it out. Good stuff. All right, we're going to work our way down towards the floor now for top of the mat when you're ready. Lovely. Press back into the heels again. Fire up the glutes, some of the core, and then take the hands all the way up to the sky. Open the hands, open the chest, shoulders back. Exhale, fall towards the floor. Drop the head, little lean forwards. Inhale, nice halfway lift. Lift the chest. Good. Exhale, plant the hands, feet back to plank. Well done. Look forwards as you come down, elbows in. Inhale, roll the shoulders down the back, lift the chest, lift the heart. And exhale, release. Seam tuck the toes, lift the knees, press into the hands, all the way up and back. Lovely, let's get that stretch out in our down dog. Feet a little bit wider, spread the fingers nice and wide, shoulders working away from each other. So you're trying to broaden the shoulder blades away from each other if you can. Well done. Then start to think about sending those hips back. Lengthen into the back a little bit more down the sides of the body. Squeeze that outer hips towards each other. Get that little inner lift. Well done. Heels back, calves back. Lovely. Take a breath. Nice. All right, coming through to seated when you're ready. And the way through. Good work. All right, we'll try to get into the hips a little bit more. So you can do this one, if you lean against something, you'll get a little bit more support. But essentially, we're going to try the balancing pose that we've just done, but seated. So you take your right foot across the top of the left thigh, so ankle goes across, and flex the foot again. You can lean back slightly or you can lean against the wall, and then you're going to drag your left heel in. So you get this happening. So I'll just show you from the front so you can see. So I put my right ankle across the top of the left thigh and then pull your left foot in. So if you're leaning against something to start with, you'll find it's very difficult because your back wants to resist and your back wants to go back. So it's harder to bring that foot in, but you're trying to get this stretch down the outside or even deep into that right glute. So if you are doing it without support behind you, you want to try to sit up a little bit taller. So you can get the hands back behind you and then try to sit up taller to get a little bit more out of that stretch, but just work to where you're at. Try to flex the right foot as well. So you're aiming for the right toes to go towards the knee, and check in with the ankle as well. You want the ankle to be nice and strong here. Well done. Take a couple of breaths here. Notice where you feel it. Don't particularly want to, knee joint pain's not always a good one, so just be careful if you're feeling it in the knee joint. You want to be feeling it a bit more down into that hip or outer hamstring, maybe feeling a stretch, depending on how tight that is. Well done. Good, so you go a little bit further, but again, this one's a good one for working towards foot behind the head. You don't need to go that far. You can do if you want to. Lovely. One more breath here. Lovely. All right, nice and slowly release that left foot forwards. Then bring your right foot off the top of your left thigh and just place it to the inside. So it's just going to feel like tree pose, and just have the foot in. If you want to go further with this one, bring your right knee back. So you get that stretch back a little bit more. Don't worry if the foot doesn't touch anymore, that's fine. Just more of a right angle with your thighs. And then reach your right arm forwards as far as you can. So you get this stretch all the way down that right shoulder, down to that right hip. You can even lean over to the left a little bit more. That left leg nice and straight, nice and strong. And then maybe square the shoulders by taking your left hand forwards. So left hand's always going to be easier to come forwards. That right side is going to be a deeper stretch because we've got that right knee back. Good. Do what you can on this one. It's quite a deep stretch of the lower back on that right side. So especially if it's quite tight on that side, it's a good one to do. This one's called Janu Shishasana in Sanskrit. Well done. You might press the heel down, calf down on that left side. Again, keep reaching that right hand forwards and down. Feel a little bit of resistance by pressing your right hip back and down. See if you can feel that. Well done. 3 more breaths. Lovely. 1 more. Good. When you're ready, release. Exhale, bring that right knee in. Let's get a vinyasa in. So bring your foot in, cross at the feet. If you can, you're trying to roll over the edges of your feet, hands forward, lift up and send your feet back in a nice strong plank. Look forwards. Shift forwards and down, chest forwards. Feet nice and wide. Inhale for your upward facing dog. Maybe get that lift of the chest forwards, up and forwards. Exhale, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. And just get a nice stretch out. Deep breath. All right, let's come through. Do other side. A bit more of that hip opening. All right, so left side this time. Once you come back through to seated, you might have the right leg out nice and straight and then get your left ankle across the top of the right thigh. Flex the foot again, so you want to feel this left ankle nice and strong. You want big toe pointing towards or pulling towards your knee, and then slowly lean against something if you want to, or just try to sit up tall and bring your right foot in. Or you might be leaning back slightly and then you can use your hands to try and lift you up a little bit more and see where you get to. It's quite a deep stretch that outside. That's what you're looking for. Notice what you feel. And then eventually, when you're starting to work towards foot behind the head, you're looking for your foot to come in front of your head without doing that. So if you can do it without putting your head forwards, then you're getting there towards foot behind the head. And if you get the foot towards your face, you try and slide it over the top of your head and get it on the back of your neck. And then it's actually a really good one for strengthening your neck, because then you have to push your neck back to resist your foot bringing your head forwards. So you push your head back as far as you can. It's a good for strengthening the neck. For headstand and things like that. You might end up doing headstand before you do foot behind the head. A little bit tricky. All right, hopefully feeling that stretch now. Nice and strong into the foot, the ankle, toe towards that knee again. And then maybe sitting up a little bit taller for that last couple of breaths on this one. Good for working towards lotus as well. So if lotus is on your list, it's definitely a good one. Get right into that outer hip. Lovely. All right, let's try our other hip opener. So just slowly release your right leg out. Release your left foot off the top and then take it down to the inside of the right thigh. And again, you might work your left knee back first. So you get this more open hip, maybe right angle with your arm, with your legs. And then again, we're going to stretch forward. So left hand comes forward as far as you can first. Grab your toes, your shin, your ankle, wherever you can. And then again, you're looking for that left shoulder stretch all the way down towards your left hip. You can even lean over to the right more to feel it. Maybe fire up that right leg, that deeper stretch. You know, sometimes you can just do a couple of breaths on that right side, so leaning over to the right first. Then you might square the shoulders, bring your right hand forwards as well. And then think about trying to sink into that fold a little bit more. Chest forward, shoulders back and down. So whenever we do forward folds with our hands out in front, there's always a temptation to bring those shoulders up, but keep them pulling down if you can. Down, bend the elbows if that helps. Well done. 2 more breaths. So 1 more. Lovely, well done. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, release. Nice, bring that left foot in, right foot in as well, and then you can come through for anything. So I'm going to try and get some twists in as well. They're really good for stretching out. Good for spinal twists. Think about your upward facing dog, getting that nice stretch of the front of the body. Good after those forward folds. Nice stretch of the back in your down dog. Think about those little tweaks that you can make in your down dog. And through back to seated. Lovely, well done. All right, let's try a little bit of a twist out. So good for internal organs as well as getting that stretch into the spine. So you're going to pull your left foot in towards your right foot and slide your left knee to the center, so it's down the center of the body, and then get your right foot to go over the top of that left knee. As you do, you might sit up a little bit taller. You might feel that right sit bone lift, that's fine. Hug in with your left arm, take a breath here. Slowly start to let that right sit bone come down, so you get that deeper hip stretch, and then maybe start to twist. So don't feel like the sit bone's got to drop all the way down. If you let your right knee come out, it will, but you can sort of find that balance, and then start to maybe twist towards the back. Bringing that right shoulder back and down as well. Just go to where it feels good. Well done, nice deep breaths, lifting the chin, lifting the chest. Good. 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Look forwards. Exhale, release. Well done. We'll switch sides. All right, so release the feet when you're ready. This time, I'm going to pull your right foot in towards your left buttock, slide that foot to the center, and then stepping that left foot over the top of your right knee. Lovely. Sitting up nice and tall, you're going to hug in with that right elbow around your left knee. Take a couple of breaths just to allow that sit bone to sink down a little. Maybe starting to open the chest, turn towards the left. And then starting to maybe work that left shoulder back. You're starting to feel that left shoulder blade squeezing in maybe. Maybe starting to turn a little more. Get more into that twist. And again, use the breath. So the inhale to get taller through the crown of the head. Exhale to twist a little bit more. Lovely. 2 more. Good. 1 more. Nice. Well done. Look forwards. Exhale, release. Well done. All right, let's do a vinyasa to stretch out, and then we'll come through for a bit of a closing sequence. Good luck. Hopefully you got a nice stretch out. All right, we're going to start to try to get a nice bridge, glute bridge if we can. So onto your back when you're ready. And then just starting to bring those feet in a little bit closer. I'm going to try and switch the core on first. So keep the hips down to start with. And then if you take the hands to the back of the head, just going to lift the head, lift the chest, and lift up slightly. And now, keeping your lower back on the ground, try to tuck your tailbones. This is like a little bit of prep before we do bridge to fire up the core a little bit more. So it's like you're trying to tuck your tailbone and bring your pubic bone closer to your head. It's quite a challenging one to do, but see if you can hold that there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your left hand and take it to the outside of your right knee. So you're going to lift up slightly. Hold that there. Go as close as you can towards your right knee, but just maybe the outside of the right thigh. Hold that there. 5, 4. So strengthen the left side of the front. 3, 2, and 1. Left hand goes back to the back of the head. Again, tuck under with the tailbone, pubic bone pulling towards the head. Hold that there. 5. So back to center. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send your right hand to the outside of your left knee or the left thigh. Hold that there. Maybe coming up a little bit higher with the chest. Hold that there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Exhale, release down, have a breather. Maybe stretch those arms up and over the top of the head. Just stretch the chest, stretch the front of the body. Well done. You can then bend the elbows. If you've got the hands over the top of the head, bend the elbows so your arms feel a little more relaxed, shoulders down. And then from there, tuck your tailbone under like we were trying to do before, but with the head lifted. So keep the head down and then just tuck the tailbone and peel your lower back off the ground just an inch or so. Press down into the feet. And it's again, you're trying to pull your pubic bone towards your head, but your head is down on the ground this time. Maybe squeeze the glutes a little here as well. Maybe use the feet to power up the legs, the glutes, and hold that there for 5, 4, notice what you feel, 3, 2, and 1. Go a little bit higher, so another inch up. And as you do, just notice that maybe you have to change the engagement in the glutes, squeeze the outer hips maybe. Notice how it might change slightly just because you've gone a little bit higher. Hold that there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go higher again. Last one. Squeeze the glutes again. So you're up a little bit higher again, but maybe having to engage a little bit further. Hold that there for 5, 4, press the inner heels down, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Exhale, release all the way down. Good work. Pull that right knee in towards you and just have a little hug in. And then bring your left foot up to the sky. And then see if you can start to lower it down. So just do a slightly different inversion. Just go as far as you can, but you might find your core is having to do some work and your hip flexors as well. The main thing is that your back stays down. If your back starts to arch, gone too far with that left leg. So keep it high. Squeeze that right knee in towards you as well. Straight leg and hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend that left knee, pull it in, and then switching over right leg. Take it up to the sky, straight leg, point through the toes and lower it down nice and slowly. Just go as far as you can. You want to feel like your hip flexors, so top of the thighs having to do some work. Maybe a little roll out of the thigh, little tuck under of the tailbone. Keep that back flat. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring that right knee back in, hug it in, and just ease out into that lower back. Have a little rock and roll, whatever you need. Lovely. And once you had a good rock and roll, take the hands up and over the top of the head, stretch those feet out and away, get a nice stretch out. Well done. Good work. All right, we're going to pretty much come into Shavasana now. So if you want to come back up and do a vinyasa to stretch out, or if you feel pretty relaxed where you are, you're more than welcome to stay where you are and just enjoy. And if not, coming up, getting a nice stretch out, even if it's just the down dog, whatever you need. Let's work. Well done, everyone. All right, just going into your Shavasana when you're ready. And then just lying flat on your back. Sometimes you can take your feet up a little bit higher or take them nice and wide. Palms go out to the side, palms facing up. Maybe a little bend in of the elbows, just helps with the shoulders. And then maybe a little tuck at the chin, closing the eyes. And then when you're ready, you're just going to take a nice big deep breath in through the nose. Big exhale out through the mouth. Nice big inhale. And long exhale. Lovely. One more. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. And then just allow the breath to return to a more natural rhythm. Allowing your body to relax, feel happy. Allowing your feet to relax, sink into the earth. Allow your ankles and your calves to relax. Your knees and your thighs. And allowing your hips to feel heavy, your pelvis to feel heavy. Allow it to sink into the earth. As you relax your belly and your back. Allowing your mid-back and your upper back to soften, relax. As you allow the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists to soften, sink down. And as you let go, back of the head, upper back. Maybe even relaxing the face, your jaw, your cheekbones. Allowing the eyes to roll back and down. And relaxing your tongue. As you let go of the breath, let go of the body, and let go of the mind. Slowly, just start to bring a little awareness back to the breath and the body. Maybe taking a deep breath in, big sigh out. Just feeling a little movement into your fingers, your toes, maybe your wrists, your ankles. Maybe enjoying a nice big stretch up and over with the arms, the hands. Maybe releasing the arms, pulling the knees in towards the chest, and just enjoying a little hug in and just a stretch of that lower back, just easing out the lower back, stretching out the lower back. Nice and slowly, just move this one side. And in your own time, just going back up to seated. Good work. Well done. Just allowing the shoulders to soften. Maybe taking the hands to heart center. With the eyes closed, just take a moment to check in and notice how you feel in the body and the mind. Good work. Well done, everyone. Namaste. Good work. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Got a good stretch out all over today. I've got some core work in as well. Well done. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your week. And I shall see you all soon. See you later.